Hi everyone, it's your Fadrik, and in today's micro devlog, I'm gonna tell you all about card souls. What is card souls, you may ask? Well, it's my new experiment in trying to make something unique. It's a souls-like combat and a real-time card game. That's a lot to think about, so let's move on one by one. And by the end, we'll talk about the future of this game, and you can now try the demo. It's on my HIO page, link in the description down below. This year I will be posting a lot of these micro devlogs on ideas I'm designing, so if this interests you, make sure to follow and subscribe. Let's get started. What does make the combat Souls-like? By playing multiple games and doing some research, first the combat has to be stamina based. So we avoid the game being hand and slash, and you'll have to plan your actions wisely. And having stamina is the perfect combination with a card game, because cards has a stamina cost when played, so yeah, it's a win-win. Next, the player should have a dodge, allowing him to evade enemy attacks, and he should also have an essence flask that will help him regen health and has charges. And it has also to lock the player in his place while drinking it. The last thing that stands out for me when playing Souls game is that when you use your shield, you will get handicapped by slow movement or by slow stamina regen. And to do that here, I've tried a lot of variation like some of the stamina regen and all of that, but finally I decided to when the player uses a shield, it will take up a stamina orb until it gets destroyed and it worked like a charm. That was all the stuff related to the Souls combat. Because I wanted the game to be card based, the first thing that stood out for me is to make the player actions in card. Moving, attacking, defending and everything. And this, in a turn-based game with a Souls-like combat, looked really boring. So it really demanded to be the game in real time and fast, which flips the idea of a strategic card game, and boom, the game really felt alive and really clicked. In real time, the player will have to play cards, check the enemy at the next action, and start doing all of that on this dance back and forth in real time. It felt great, and because there were no turns, I gave the player the ability to discard any card he wants and wait for a new one. And it clicked all together real quick. The card will have the actual stamina cost, the actual actions that this card does, and if the card is directional, like the dodge for example, it will allow the player to go either right or left when he wants to target also that side. Next, I want to challenge myself to something crazy. If the game is in real time, can I add a parry or a combo system with the moves and the card that I have? And yes, that is what I went with. And when the monster attack, before landing hit on the red tiles that he's targeting, the player can raise his shield before the attack hits, parrying and stunning the enemy, doing double damage to him. And also, the combo system was super simple to add. Playing cards in correct order will reward the player with a free attack. And by simply having the game like this, it really felt right. The combat was challenging and the AI goes through multiple phases, getting harder and harder, and the card swapping kept the player on edge. The game really evolved in the last months of development from looking like this of numbers and stayed all over the UI. It was just an information overload for the player to handle and keep track of. But in the current state, I had to learn pixel art, and in 10 hours I added a fresh coat of paints to the game, removed every number on the screen. That was my really personal challenge. Basically, can I make the game without any numbers? And I did. It was not an easy task, but I love how all the UI fit together with a simple art for the cards, and it's clear how much the player has in health, stamina, shield, and for that monster too. Let's end this video with the future of this game. The game, now currently in a prototype version, has the core gameplay mechanic coded and running. I don't know if I want to continue development on this game or not. That's why I need your help. The public demo is now on my HIO page, link in the description, and I would love to hear your thought on the basic gameplay of this game. Is it fun? Does it click with you? What improvement would you love to see? How can we develop this game as a community? I want to give the game more development time this month for sure, to see if adding stuff like for example more cards that attack and slide at the same time, or cards that stuns the enemy when used, or maybe let's add a new type of enemy with new actions and new AI. Or maybe let's add an entire equipment system to the game, allowing the player to swap gear between fights, which will allow him to form his deck, basically adding a deck building mechanic to the game. For example, let's add a spear that will add 3 light attack cards, or maybe a heavy shield with like spikes on it that will add like multiple shield badges and shield cards. It's like It can be fun and it can be challenging, so it's all addition to the basically the core mechanic of the fighting system of this game. Let me know in the comments below, and in the community page for this game over on itch.io page I have multiple posts. All feedback are really appreciated and I will be waiting for it. But in the end, if you want to support my journey in making unique games, make sure to follow me on Twitter. I am fairly active there. My itch.io page to check all my games and projects. Support me on Patreon, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you all in the next game and in the next adventure.